Hello everyone, I'm Chris Thomas. You're watching an ABC 10 Plus recap of the day's top stories. We hear from family members of missing workers following a fireworks warehouse explosion in Esparto. Then in dollars and cents, expert tips to stay on track with your 2025 money goals. The ABC 10 Plus recap starts now.
We've been following this breaking news for almost 24 hours now.
Yeah, that massive explosion is not only impacting Yolo County, but also several other communities right here in Northern California.
The families of the missing people are demanding answers tonight. Officials have not confirmed their identities. We have live team coverage for you tonight. ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha has the newest details on the investigation live from the scene.
But we do start with ABC 10's Luke Clary live in Esparto. And Luke, I know you spoke to a woman who says her boyfriend was working at the location and he's sadly now missing.
Yes, that's right, Chris. Laura, I spoke today to a young woman who had a very intense exchange with fire officials. She says that her boyfriend was working at the fireworks facility when it exploded. It was his first day on the job, just as she and this young man were about to embark on a new chapter of life together. The site of the explosion still smoldering in the distance. Desperation behind the caution tape almost a mile away.
Sorry. He had a baby on the way.
In the midst of a media scrum, Ciana Ruiz is in search of answers. Her boyfriend, 18-year-old Jesus Manceses Ramos, one of the 7 people still missing, and the father of her unborn child.
He saw it as a new chapter in our life. He was excited.
Ruiz says it was his first day on the job, a short-term fireworks gig, alongside his brothers Johnny Ramos and Junior Melendez, both in their 20s, both also still missing. Hours after the explosion shook homes and triggered evacuations, as fire crews had to hold back for their own safety, Ciana pressed officials on the perimeter.
If anybody had even tried saving them anything, nothing.
So we sought answers for her.
Are you communicating with their families? Because there are some folks here who say they don't know what's going on.
There has been communication with family, and I understand that it's not the communication that everybody would probably want to hear. But again, we are doing our best with the information that we have.
Still not satisfied, Ciana took matters into her own hands.
3 people that we've been focusing on. We were here since yesterday and have yet to receive any information, have yet to see any efforts, and have yet to see anybody go to try and find anybody at all.
The reason we have not been on site to do that is because the danger presented.
Okay, but you guys are supposed to protect us from danger, and you guys are supposed to deal with the danger. So why isn't that you guys aren't dealing with it yet enough?
A tense exchange. Officials explaining.
We are doing what we can from the site through aerial investigations.
They're probably struggling, stuck under debris.
Ciana said her piece and walked away, holding on to hope under the weight of her worry.
They were all 3 incredible men who had so much coming for them. And I'm just praying to God some way, somehow, that they're okay.
Some intense emotional moments there as this small town grapples with the explosion that happened here. Esparto is a very small town. I've been speaking to people here, many of whom weren't even aware that such a fireworks facility existed just a few miles outside of town. Many people here have questions tonight. Chris, Laura?
Our thoughts are certainly with all the families impacted by this tragedy. Our Luke Clary reporting live for us. We thank you, Luke. And as he mentioned, that small Yolo County community is shaken after that warehouse explosion. As families demand answers, investigators are just now starting to try and figure out exactly what happened. As we approach almost 24 hours since the explosion, officials say 7 people are missing.
Roads are closed, evacuation orders remain, and officials say the danger is far from over. ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha is tracking the latest on the investigation for us. You were out there for several hours last night when this first broke out. Where do things stand right now, Garshpal?
Yeah, Chris and Laura, that large, dense black smoke that we saw last night, that has dissipated, but a lot of the roads are closed in the area, and the reason for that is because of the explosions that happened that sent that debris much further away from the site. And so officials are trying to figure out exactly what happened here. Now we're about a mile away from that site, but you can take a look at it right in the distance. You can see the charred remains there. And you can see also once in a while you will see light dark smoke rise, but then it quickly dissipates. And fire officials say they are being very careful because of the hidden dangers at this site. Now this video that we took about an hour or two ago shows more of the aftermath of the facility. Officials are calling extremely dangerous. As investigators go through the debris, they're also searching for the 7 people still missing. CAL FIRE says first responders and investigators are working with the property owner to identify their location. Investigators are also using unmanned aircraft systems like drones to identify hazards. Now the explosions we heard from viewers was felt anywhere from Winters, which is about 10 miles away, as far as Vacaville, which is close to 20 miles away, and that fire took out several buildings and scorching nearby fields.
I can say I have not seen anything like this. This is obviously an incident of great magnitude. This was, numerous people throughout this area, have seen this incident, and no, I have not experienced something like this. This is a very complex and ongoing investigation. It's a very complex and ongoing incident that is not completely terminated or mitigated. So we're going to keep the public and our responders' safety in the utmost regard throughout this incident.
Now, officials say the risk to life is why evacuation orders remain in place. Now, the Office of the State Fire Marshal is leading the investigation. Now, officials say no firefighters were hurt, but the search continues for the 7 still missing. Now, crews are working to shrink the evacuation zones to get people back into their homes, but no word on when that's going to be. Reporting live from Yolo County, Garjpal Sangha, ABC 10.
Still very early in the investigation. We'll check back in throughout the evening. Garjpal, thank you.
Meanwhile, the fire happened at Black Star Fireworks, owned by Esparto Fire Protection volunteer firefighter Craig Cutright. It's a warehouse that stores fireworks for multiple Northern California cities and counties. Here's what we know right now. Now, many cities tell ABC 10 they're canceling their fireworks shows or figuring out another 4th of July celebration instead. Today, the Cloverdale Lions Club posted on Facebook their annual 4th of July fireworks show is canceled after the explosion destroyed the fireworks for their show. Lodi also confirmed this year's Lodi Lake fireworks show has been canceled as a result of the explosion. Also, the 4th of July family blast in Placerville at the El Dorado County Fair is canceled. Sutter and Yuba counties are rescheduling their shows. And those counties were working with another company for their fireworks shows. Yuba Sutter released a joint statement saying, quote, "Devastating Pyrotechnics has been a trusted partner and cherished part of our regional fireworks celebrations. Their team brought not just fireworks, but joy, pride, and tradition to our community on Independence Day." ABC 10 has reached out to Devastating Pyrotechnics, but we have not yet heard back. And we've been streaming the latest updates on this fireworks warehouse explosion on our ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app. We have today's full news conference as well as an interview with the girlfriend of one of the missing men. The app is free to download on your TV. Sean Diddy Combs will stay in jail. He was denied bail following today's split verdict at his federal criminal trial.
Yeah, he was found not guilty on the most serious charges, sex trafficking and racketeering, but he was found guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Rena Roy with ABC News has the latest update tonight.
Everybody watching, so happy. The family of Sean Diddy Combs celebrating on the streets of Manhattan after a jury of 12 New Yorkers acquitted the hip-hop mogul of the most serious charges he was facing: racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. The verdict coming in after more than 14 hours of deliberations. Combs kneeling on the ground of the courtroom in prayer after the verdict was read. He was found guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, which in total carries a maximum punishment of 20 years in prison. The judge in this case denying Combs' release after hearing arguments from both sides, saying Combs will remain in custody until he's sentenced.
For Sean Combs and his defense team, this is a massive win. Sean Combs going to trial where he was facing life and being able to walk out with something under 10 years, well under 10 years possibly, that is a victory.
The jury began deliberating on Monday morning after hearing more than 6 weeks of testimony from 34 witnesses, including Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, who testified that Combs used power, violence, and fear to force her into so-called freak-offs or drug-fueled sex performances with male escorts. Prosecutors thanking her and the other alleged victims for sharing their harrowing stories. This footage at the heart of the case showing Combs kicking and dragging Ventura in 2016.
She was pleased that he's been found guilty and held responsible of 2 federal crimes, something that he's never been held responsible in his entire life. And she's happy.
According to a letter from her attorney, Ventura urging the judge to keep Combs detained ahead of his sentencing, saying she believes he poses a danger to the alleged victims who testified, including herself. The defense team arguing detaining Combs is inappropriate, saying he needs to be with his family. Combs had pleaded not guilty to all charges. His defense argued the women were willing participants and all sexual encounters were consensual.
Well, nearly 60 people with disabilities were laid off from their job at the California Medi-Cal facility out in Vacaville and replaced with state employees. Now these people are demanding their jobs back. ABC10's Jeannie Nguyen is here to share with us their pleas and also a response from the governor's office tonight.
Alex, they are employed through a company called Pride Industries, who hires people with disabilities, many of them veterans. A veteran tells me tonight he has no backup plan, and many of his colleagues rely on the consistent health care benefits from their jobs. They're hoping the state will change its mind.
Severe anxiety, bipolar, and some other leftover things from my time in the service.
Even with his disabilities, Amir Habib is grateful to have a job with Pride Industries working out of the California Medical Facility in Vacaville. Pride Industries provides career opportunities for people with disabilities.
I came here in 2020, and our results have been really good. We've got great completion, great quality. The customer is really happy with us.
But on Tuesday, 51 of Habib's colleagues and staff were laid off, with Habib expecting to lose his job later this month along with an additional 7 employees. It comes after Pride's contract with the state expired June 30th, causing these employees to be replaced by state workers. Habib sent a letter to the governor asking for job protection and a letter to SEIU Local 1000 to request a contract with the union.
We've got folks who really depend on the job here to support them and their families, but then also folks who really depend on the coverage, the insurance and the benefits that they have through Pride.
Pride Industries is based in Roseville, which is Assemblymember Joe Patterson's district. He's considering introducing legislation to ease up on the state's civil service laws to give more opportunities for people with disabilities.
This decision was made by the State Personnel Board. My staff showed up on behalf of Pride Industry employees, these individuals with a lot of them with disabilities. I kind of felt like my chief of staff was dismissed at that meeting.
A spokesperson for the governor's office told ABC10 the governor is open to long-term solutions and is committed to working with the legislature on policies creating pathways to employment for Californians with disabilities. Ultimately, Habib hopes that's true for the sake of his colleagues and himself.
My folks are not on state and government programs that are taking money from taxpayers. They're working, supporting their families and paying taxes, right?
The chair of bargaining with SEIU Local 1000 provided ABC10 with a statement that says, in part, workers with disabilities deserve the same fair pay, benefits, and protections as any other state employee. It's unclear if the union plans on working with them. Alex.
Time now for Dollars and Cents. Hard to believe, but we're already halfway through the year, and it's a great time to ask yourself, how are your money goals going? Back in January, we talked about making new money goals and how to set yourself up for financial success in 2025. I talked with a Sacramento-based financial coach to help you size up your progress and stay on track.
Start by looking at your accounts. This includes checking accounts, savings accounts, and investment accounts. Are those dollar amounts where you want them to be?
Maybe there's some catching up that you need to do, or maybe there's some scaling back that you can afford to do.
Paley recommends, in addition to examining your accounts midway through the year, keep it up monthly or at least quarterly. Next, run your credit score. You should know not only the number, but also the factors behind that score.
Let's say you're not exactly pleased with the score, you think it's a little challenged and you'd like it to go up. If you know the factors that are contributing to the score, then you know basically how to fix that.
Also, run your credit report. Your credit report has all the information that generates your credit score.
Halfway through the year is a great time to make sure that when we look at our credit report, no new lines of credit have been taken out that we're unfamiliar with. Everything that's reported on there is accurate.
That includes old addresses, current address, and any name changes. Double check any debts you may have paid off are also captured in the report correctly. Credit reports aren't always perfect. There can be inaccuracies. Paley recommends running your credit report twice a year. Remember, federal law says everyone has the legal right to a free credit report once every 12 months for each of the 3 reporting bureaus: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian.
Now, as people are looking through their numbers and they're not quite where they want them to be, what's some advice to help get them back on track?
I think what's really powerful is taking a look at your month-to-month cash flow. Once you have a sense of what you're working with, that's where you can either take steps to increase income and also reducing expenses. What are the things that can go?
Paley says it'd be great if you could increase income and reduce expenses at the same time and put that extra money into your other goals, like paying down debt, saving for a home, or putting more in your retirement savings. The conversation doesn't end here. Remember, your money questions have answers. Email me at lpainter@abc10.com and stream all of my dollars and cents stories right now on the free ABC10 Plus TV streaming app. Well, let's talk weather now. While it's not raining money or anything like that, Brendan, it has been right. It has been an active start to the new month.
Warm too, huh?
Yeah, definitely warm. It was the hottest day of the year, tied the hottest day of the year so far for Vacaville yesterday. Today's not quite as hot, but one of the things that we were watching today was going to be those thunderstorms in the Central Sierra. That is exactly what we've seen. It's dry in the valley, but of course it is a much more active picture in the high country. We did have a severe thunderstorm move through South Lake Tahoe at about 4 o'clock this afternoon. No severe storms out there right now. There is a stronger storm, though, that is producing P to about marble-sized hail down in Tuolumne County right now, just south of Highway 108. This strong thunderstorm will continue until at least about 5:45 tonight. But that is right now the only stronger storm. However, showers and some thunderstorm chances will continue for the next hour or two, really until we get closer to sunset tonight. Temperatures at the moment: 95 in Sacramento, 98 in Stockton, 97 in Modesto, 98 in Vacaville, 87 in Fairfield, 93 in Auburn, 57 in South Lake Tahoe. Remember, they had that storm roll through. That's why it's much cooler up there. 79 at the moment in Truckee. One of the things that we are seeing today, though, is much nicer onshore flow, about 15 to 25 miles per hour across the valley and delta. So that means our evening will be a little nicer than what we've seen the last couple of days. 95 right now as we look over downtown. That's exactly where we were at this time yesterday. But remember, that wind is a little stronger, so we'll notice that, especially by the time we get towards about 8, 9 o'clock. We'll be in those upper 70s, low 80s. By midnight, we'll be in the upper 60s. Another mild start to Thursday morning, though. We're going to be right around 60 degrees across much of the valley. It may be a little more breezy than the last few nights, though, so maybe those wind chimes will continue through the overnight. My high tomorrow is about 90 degrees. The average is 92, so we're going to be very seasonal, if not a little bit below normal for the time of year. We're also going to have some clouds passing through. I've got about 91 in Stockton, 94 in Modesto on a Thursday. Much of the San Joaquin Valley actually is going to be in those low to mid 90s. And again, we are going to have clouds moving on through. Across the Sacramento Valley and Delta, we're looking at mid 80s to about 90 in Sacramento. Eastern suburbs in the low 90s, about 92 in Roseville and Folsom tomorrow. Those thunderstorms for the next few hours, but then it tapers off. And as we go into the overnight, we see some clouds, but no more thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon, just clouds passing through. It is going to be windy, though. That's something to keep in mind. We could see waves in Lake Tahoe, of about 1 to 2 feet tomorrow afternoon. So something to keep in mind if you're planning on getting an early start to the holiday. You see how gusty it is going to be across the high country, and on the eastern slope into the state of Nevada, there is a red flag warning for that elevated fire danger. Temperatures only get better as we head into the holiday. We're going to be in those mid to upper 80s in the valley on Friday, seasonal through the weekend before it gets hotter next week.
Well, bring on the cool down. Music to our ears.
Especially just in time for the holiday weekend.
Exactly what we want.
It's all about having fun and also learning at the Roberts Family Development Center in Sacramento. It's the Freedom School program. It tries to bridge the gap between learning loss and summer fun. ABC 10's Marcus Allen shows us how the Freedom School program stays true to the mission and empowering kids through fun and education.
Yeah, guys, we're in the deep middle of it. This is what Freedom School is all about. This kind of energy, this kind of action, this kind of excitement. They rile them up. They get them all hyped up so that they're more engaged in learning. And what kind of learning? We're going to find out in a moment. In the meantime, just watch this action go down. All right. I don't want to interrupt all this action, but let's get to know everybody. Freedom School roll call.
So, Freedom School roll call. I am Miss Williams, site coordinator.
How many years? I've been talking to you for a long time.
So, yeah, I'm new you since the Grand High School drumline. So, I've been knowing Mark Allen since I was in high school.
Yeah.
What's that? That's 2016, 2015?
And in front of this crowd for a long time.
For a long time in the Freedom School setting. I've been here for about 8 years now.
Awesome. Over here, you, sir.
How you doing? Elijah Lee, site coordinator for Pioneer Roberts Family Development Center. Same as Miss Williams. I've been doing this work for 8 years now. Started when I was 21, turned to 29 this year.
Now, if you look out at this crowd, I'm looking at all these engaged faces. You got them riled up, but that's really just so they ingest the message. And among the messages today are what?
I can make a difference in my community, that I am enough. We are week 3 going into it. We're halfway there to I can make a difference with hope, education, and action.
The weekly message for them this week is, like she said, each week Freedom Schools has a different weekly theme, starting with I can make a difference in myself, my family, community, world, country, with hope, education, and action.
It's awesome. And every day a big community guest. Coming up in the 7 o'clock hour, you'll get to know that guest. In the meantime, let's go out with some more energy. You want to get them going again?
Go ahead.
Well,
Watch
Mr.
this.
Allen, we do have a special cool cap for you if you would like to bust out a couple dance moves.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Let's get them going.
Hey, Mr. Allen,
you're a real cool cat. You got a lot of this and a lot of that.
You're about to see some embarrassing dancing.
Stretch your stuff.
That said, I'll just say back to you.
Stretch. I can't hear you. Hey, Mr. Allen, you're a real cool cat. You got a lot of this and a lot of that. Stretch your stuff. Stretch.
Thanks for watching this ABC10 Plus recap. We are here 24/7 on the free ABC10 Plus TV streaming app. You can get your local news and weather anytime, anywhere. I'm Chris Thomas. We'll see you next time.
We're in day 1 of a weather impact alert.
Tracking a couple big weather impacts, including a red flag warning and big heat developing.
Heavy rain continues. I hear it on the roof right now.
We're already seeing the impact of the storm.
We're planning for those changes.
Triple-digit heat leading to cancellations and concerns.
Stay fire ready.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on ABC10 Plus.
Thanks for watching ABC10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To the Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To the Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. Up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look. It's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To the Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.
We are in day one of a weather impact alert.
Tracking a couple big weather impacts, including a red flag warning and big heat developing.
Heavy rain continues. I hear it on the roof right now.
We're already seeing the impact of the storm.
We're planning for those changes.
Triple-digit heat leading to cancellations and concerns.
Stay fire ready.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on ABC10 Plus.